What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're going to just be quickly breaking down the HUD from the new gameplay trailer that we saw the other day at the Xbox event, and just going over what it all means and what each aspect it's showcasing. So this is going to be a quick one, but I thought it was a topic worth covering anyway. The HUD is obviously such an important element of any shooter, or pretty much any game at all for that matter. Too much detail in the HUD can lead to too much clutter, and it can cause it to be a little bit overwhelming to look at times, while too little can actually hinder the player by not providing enough information, despite the fact that it generally does look a little bit nicer. So a simple, low profile, sort of easy to understand HUD is generally the best middle ground, and in my opinion this HUD does look like exactly that, at least from what we've seen so far. Starting off down in the bottom left we have the minimap, and the first thing that I wanted to touch on was the colour of the map. As you can see here that it is red sometimes, or sometimes it's blue, and this depends on the sector that you're in and whether or not your team holds that sector, with obviously blue being your team and red being the enemy team. We can now also see that both the score and the sectors are attached to the minimap, which I think is a great idea. Previously those were both up in the top in Battlefield 5, and while I didn't necessarily dislike that at all, I do just think it looks a little bit cleaner down here in the bottom left and kind of centralizes it a bit, putting all the important information in one area while still not being sort of too cluttered. So I am definitely a big fan of that design. The part with the sectors also indicates which sector you're currently in as well, as you can see by the sort of triangle being added on top of the sector names. So you'll always know exactly what sector you're currently in, which to be honest doesn't seem all that important, but it does look nice and simple anyway. Below that there are also these two symbols which I'm not actually too sure what they are just yet. One looks like a little radio or a phone or something that could be to do with either the squad leader radio or possibly even the call-in tablet. Maybe one of these indicates when a vehicle is available or something like that, but as of right now those are pretty much the only two parts that I'm not really sure what they are as of just yet. Now next to that we also get to see the squad list as per usual. It does look slightly bigger than normal, however I think that's just to squeeze in the images of the specialists so that we know who's playing as who, and although it is a little bit bigger I still don't think it's too big at all, and I love that we can actually see their health again too by the little colour above their image. So again, it seems like they're adding in lots of information for us without overdoing it or making it too complicated, which I'm definitely a fan of. Now something else that I actually noticed while I'm editing this is that now when you're capturing a flag, it actually says how many players on each team are capturing the flag with you. Obviously in past games it kind of had that bar up the top where it does show the ratio, but that doesn't really help when it's 50-50 because it could be one player or it could be 50, you can just never tell. So this way it actually tells you exactly how many players are on that flag, and I think that is definitely a great addition to the HUD as well. So that's pretty much it for the left side of the HUD, and now moving on to the right side, this is where the actual player information is located as per usual. So the left side mostly covers like team-based elements and the score and the map and all that, while the right side showcases everything you need to know about your own player. Starting off with the 5 boxes down on the bottom, these obviously just show off all of your gear. So the first one is the primary weapon, the second one is the secondary weapon, the third one is actually your specialty gadget. So for example here with McKay, your grapple hook will show up there when you're using it, and then the last two I believe are just whatever gadgets you choose to bring with you. So if you're playing as Falk for example, this might be your defibrillators and a health crate or something like that, and then the numbers that tie to those boxes are obviously just the ammo count. Above that we see the green bar with the specialist name and the actual number of your health. As you take damage that will change colours down to yellow or red depending on how much health you have, just to sort of give a quick indication of your health, so you don't necessarily have to look at the number, rather you can just sort of see out the corner of your eye that it's red and you probably need to take some cover. Now lastly above that we see essentially just your ammo count, with the first and bigger number being the current magazine, and then the second smaller number is your ammo reserve, and then I believe the 4 little squares just indicate the plus system. Maybe that shows which attachments you currently have on, or maybe it legitimately just reminds you that the plus system is there. Not too sure just yet, but that definitely hints at the plus system in one way or another. Now the very last thing I wanted to touch on was very easy to miss. In this section here where the player aims down sights, there is actually a compass that shows up down the bottom of the screen, which can obviously be very helpful for telling your teammates where the enemy players are located. It is a very weird way of doing this if it is only when you're ADS, because obviously if I tell a teammate like 3 enemies over at 265 for example, well my teammate could be facing the other direction and he'll have to like ADS and then slowly turn around until he finds 265, and to be honest he's probably dead by then if he's just slowly turning in a circle while ADSing. So it's a bit of a weird design in my opinion. Maybe there's just a function to turn it on at all times, turn it completely off, or turn it on only when ADSing. It's hard to say right now, but I thought that was definitely a very unique design nonetheless. So anyway guys, that is pretty much it for the HUD breakdown here. There are obviously some other elements like the flags and the teammate names and stuff like that, but all of that is really self-explanatory, so I won't bother going through it in this one. If you enjoyed the video then be sure to leave a like down below, and if you are new then consider subscribing to the channel with those notifications on. Thank you all so much for watching. You guys have a great day, and I will see you guys out there on the battlefield.